What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You are watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. Not with my boys, but we're still here, in theory, in front of me, Mr. Matt Welty.
I'm here. Brendan's here.
We're here. We're sort of here. For the people.
And of course,
yeah, we're here. We're here.
It's been a week. It's been a week for my guy, Mr. Brendan Dunne. Right off the bat, we should. I mean, they're going to see this, so we should address Dunne. I don't know how much you want to get into it, but
hey, we can get into it. Honestly,
yeah, you posted on social.
This isn't a Halloween costume.
Man,
I'll give you 40 minutes on this thing if you want. I feel like we have to set the stage for people who have the pleasure of listening to this. You are missing my mutilated face right now, and missing maybe that Joe is remote right now, but we're all connected audio-wise. So, yes, for those of us, for those people who are watching. There is a giant scar on my face. There are some lacerations elsewhere on my face. I now officially have a good side. You know, people are always like, yeah, get my good side, you know, like, and it just so happens that that's the opposite side of where the cameras point. Yeah. You know, if all this would have happened to the other side of my face, I feel like
I'd be all right. Do you want to switch spots?
Yeah. Man, you're feeling okay, though? Or you're feeling as good as you can?
You know what? It's a lot. Yeah. I mean, I was going to say it's a lot more. It looks a lot more dramatic than it is, but it was very dramatic. But like my actual physical well-being right now is relatively fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's like a...
Welty, what was it like? What was it like when you saw him?
I said it's just like, it's like a weird, like, I guess, string of events of like everything that's like occurred on this podcast over like the past like few weeks.
Yeah.
It's been a rough road. Not literally, or kind of literally. It's been a rough road for us in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I gave myself a concussion during a workout with a barbell, and then like I get better, and then like Brendan gets into a car accident. I had people hitting me up like jokingly, and this obviously is not meant to be serious.
We went right to you right away.
But they're like,
go ahead.
They're
No, like, I'm kidding.
It's like law averages. Like, is this gonna is something gonna happen to Joe next?
I know.
I was getting added like the internet, man, is a tough place. I was getting added like JLP, you're next, but we don't want to
either Joe or Trinidad.
Oh man, we don't want to downplay a very very scary situation done, and obviously very happy that you are here. And we didn't even know if we were going to record the podcast this week, but you're powering through it. I will say. You like I said, you posted on Instagram if people have the stomach to see, but I even have a worse picture that you sent me. And listen, thank goodness that we are all joking and laughing, but very, very serious. And we're just thankful that you're okay, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, so do we get into it right now? Because I feel like we have all this like pretext around it. Like I might as well tell the story, right?
Yeah. You just had the Instagram photo, and you're like looking kind of like a picture of Ric Flair, or like Hulk Hogan when when they like
Mick Foley. I would have went Mick Foley.
Yeah,
I would have went Mick Foley. Extreme
yeah,
Wrestling.
Yeah. Although the shirt they just charged me with, out of the hospital was the Nexus shirt. I am, of course, not a wrestling guy, as I've mentioned on here many times. So I don't know if Joe, who's a wrestler, I don't know who maybe from Nexus I was looking like with.
Ben Felderstein could speak much better to it, but it was a group. While we're on wrestling, R.I.P. Scott Hall, legendary Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
And they discharged you in the Nexus shirt.
From Castle Medical Center.
And, yes. One thing I want to say.
Yeah.
Are those the shoes, bro?
I am wearing right now.
Okay.
The same.
Okay.
Black.
I didn't steal your thunder,
ones.
did I?
No.
Okay. Because I'm looking at them and I'm
These
like,
are the same
are
Jordan
those
ones
the shoes?
I was wearing when we got hit by a car. Yes.
Yeah. And I definitely got added in your mentions about that because everyone knows I had that experience last summer where I almost cut my finger off and I had a pair of
all about him. All about him, bro.
No, but they're saying what? No, I'm not. They're just saying what's the odds that this keeps on reoccurring?
What was your thing?
When I almost sliced when I cut my finger
off.
The bodegas? With the bodegas.
Okay.
Done.
Let me say this.
Let's do it as
I'm
concise as
saying
possible.
these things keep on reoccurring on the podcast.
Yes, I'm only joking.
Yeah, of course. But I want to say, Dunne, like, it's always tough. Like, when I told a lot of people about it, like my co-host, and I was like, do you want to see the picture? And you never know, like, you don't know people's level of like what they want to see. So some people said yes, some people said no. Obviously, a lot of people reached out to me to see how you were doing.
Anybody particularly famous? It sounds like there's somebody.
I don't think so.
Okay, nobody you can mention. Damn it! I
You're
want
loved,
a little more clout.
Listen, you're loved. You're loved out here, and I feel like we've been circling the wrestling ring. We've been circling. I don't know how much you want to get into it, but yeah, you were in Hawaii, and
let's get into it as much as possible.
Yeah,
I was in a car accident over the weekend, and I don't even like that phrasing because that makes it sound like there's some ambiguity as to who was responsible. I was in the backseat of a car with two of my best friends from high school. I was the best man at their wedding. They live in Hawaii. I go to visit them sometime. We were T-boned by a 17-year-old who rolled through a stop sign. We were on the highway going about 30 miles per hour. And this 17-year-old kid who we found out later got his license issued to him the day before. The day before this happened, he got his license. It was a paper license. So he blew the stop sign and just T-boned us, and it rolled the car. And in my head, the amount of time that it took, because people have asked, did you get a concussion? Do you remember what happened? I remember it all very vividly because I didn't lose consciousness at any point during it. So, and I say that to say that in my recollection of it, it happened so slowly and there was so much time where it felt like we rolled twice, but I don't think physics-wise that we could have rolled twice.
It's possible.
I don't think with how fast he was going.
Got you.
And we were like, I think he was in a smaller sedan and we were in a, what is that car? I think it's called an Xterra, a Nissan Xterra.
Oh, like smaller SUV.
Yeah, so we rolled over at least once, and I don't think I had my seatbelt on. I discerned that afterward based on my status relative to my friends, because my two friends who were in the front seat, they were pretty much fine and they both had their seatbelts on. They had some soreness the next day, and we're all very sore at this point, whiplash and things like that. But I was bouncing around a lot when it was happening. So I have this very vivid image of basically what I was seeing while it was happening was, if I'm looking straight ahead, I can see the toe boxes on my black and Royal Jordan 1s, and they're pointing at the ceiling, at the roof of the car.
It's crazy.
Dude,
that
that's scary, bro.
It's
that's
crazy
scary.
that as a sneakerhead though, like that's like the image that you're like remembering, that you're like out of this whole like like life sort of like altering situation potentially.
Yeah.
The one thing you remember is like the sneakerhead moment of like, I'm looking at the toe box of my shoes.
And they're on the roof, they're on the ceiling of the, so I'm looking straight forward and that's what I'm seeing. So right when the car hit us, my friend Adam, who was in the passenger seat, he's just saying, fuck, we're hit, we got hit. And I'm immediately just saying, fuck, as we're rolling over. My friend who's driving, Kelly, his wife, totally silent, and she was very stoic through the whole thing and not freaking out as much as us. But we're rolling, and then we stopped rolling. And I think in the moment that we stopped, I think in my head, I thought that the car was on its side. And I look and I see the windows were all smashed out.
Yeah.
And I look and I see the window open. And basically, again, because I thought that we were on our side, I was like, that's how I'm getting out. So I didn't even try to open the door. In fact, we landed flat.
Oh, wow.
So, but I was just like, okay, there's the window. So I just put my feet out the window, and there's like broken glass, but I slid out the window, and they get out of the front seats, and immediately I know that I'm bleeding. But I'm kind of like walking around for a few seconds, and we're just kind of trying to figure out what happened.
Like it didn't really even sink in to you yet that you're like, oh shit, like there's blood all over my face.
Right. I didn't think that, because I felt fine enough. And again, I didn't lose consciousness or anything.
You think like adrenaline maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Even though like I've told myself and other people have asked, and I was like, and I'll go into it more, but the whole time from then until I got to the hospital, like I was joking around. Like I was, I remember all the names of the people in the ambulance, and I was like, Belinda, can we drive a little faster? Things like annoying shit that I usually say.
That's crazy. Because it's like tough too when it's like things like that happen sometimes. It's like not even the severity, but your body doesn't react to what happened to you until like hours later sometimes.
For sure. Like the gravity of it. Or
not even the gravity, I mean like the physical pain.
Yes. Yeah. Because I wasn't sore until like later that night. But so I hopped out of the car, and we're kind of on the corner. And for the people who are watching the video, I guess can we put photos in? Is that flagrant? Like,
sure, why not?
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. However much people want to see, and I'm trying to walk around, and people immediately saw that I was the person who was fucked up. The kid who hit us, he was fine, and the person in his passenger seat was totally fine. So they kind of the people, people were swarming immediately. Oh, I used to be an EMT. Oh, I'm a military EMT. And they kind of sat me down on this corner up against this wall. And my friend who was in the car, he said, "Oh, Brendan needs a towel," because they saw how much I was bleeding. I had a brand new, we've talked on here about the white Uniqlo shirt, the white Uniqlo tee. I had gone, I'm going to Hawaii for a trip for 4 days. I'm gonna get a crispy, fresh Uniqlo UT.
You just come with like a pack of them or something.
Beaming in the summer sun.
But the Lorenz jacket.
I had the Lorenz OG jacket with me in the car. No, that was covered in blood. But
wait, that got covered in blood?
Yeah, I wasn't wearing it, but I had it in the car with me. And yeah, but my friend Kelly.
That's like your least of your worries too.
No,
but it's just like crazy.
Of course it is. Of course.
Yeah. But
him and I were joking about
most of the blood out of it. So I think the jacket is still okay. We'll get the IG photo with it. But so I'm sitting there on the corner, and people are kind of circling me, and they're wrapping my head up. And again, I'm joking through this whole thing.
Yeah.
And they're asking me all the standard questions. Do you know where you are? Do you know what day it is? Things like that. And
of course,
answering them correctly. And I'm like my friend is standing over me. I'm like, take some photos. I'm like, so she goes.
That's your first thought of this?
Yes, honestly. Like, if I'm being totally transparent, yes. Because I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It's very it's crazy. It's very serious. I'm glad that we're joking.
Yeah.
It's not
I was joking in the moment. Again,
yeah.
So I tell her to go she goes to the car to get her phone. I'm like, make sure you get the Jordans in the photo.
Oh my God.
Sat there for a bit. The EMT, the proper ambulance came eventually. They loaded me up in there. I still had my phone when they brought me into the ambulance. So I was able to call a couple people. My girlfriend's out of the country right now, so I was trying to send her a bunch of WhatsApp messages. She didn't see them till later. I FaceTimed one of my friends, like, this is what happened. I left a voice note for my brother. And again, just giving everybody my friend's phone number, being like, call Adam. If you need any information, this is his phone number, call him. I called my mom from the ambulance. Again, I was totally lucid.
Yeah.
I do think the adrenaline affected my mood a little bit, but I was feeling pretty normal.
Definitely told my sister to not tell my mom until I knew for a fact that you were fully okay. That's what I mean. I was picking and choosing, but man,
spent a couple hours in the hospital, and like I said earlier, that's when it really felt serious to me, because
you're like, oh, something actually happened to me.
Yeah, because I wasn't really thinking. I hopped out of the car myself just fine. I was walking around fine. I was on the phone just fine, even though it looked very dramatic. I'm covered in blood. But then when I'm at the hospital and they're giving me the scans and I'm stuck in a bed for multiple hours, and the scans are, to see if I'm bleeding internally, or when I'm sitting there laying in the MRI machine, I don't know if it's the MRI machine or the CT machine, the one with the circular thing.
Yeah.
But that's when I'm and I don't think there's a lot of value in thinking about all the hypotheticals, what could have happened. Because I could have died, I could have but I don't know how much energy you should spend on thinking about those things, other than trying to extract the valuable lesson, which is obviously wear a seatbelt. But when I was sitting there getting the scans and stuff, that's when I was like, oh right, I could be paralyzed right now, or I could have lost a limb, something like that.
Definitely.
Also, I don't know if you guys have ever had those type of scans, but that was one of the most uncomfortable parts. Is part of it, the person administering the tests was like, I'm gonna give you this salination that's basically a dye that they hooked up to my IV, so the dye would run through my blood, and then they could image it or whatever. And she was like, when it goes through your body, it's going to feel warm and tingly, and you're going to feel it in your crotch, and you might feel like you peed yourself.
Oh, wow.
And she was like, you're going to feel a salty taste in your mouth. Again, I can give you half an hour on this stuff if people want, but and that was one of the worst parts, was this thing coursing through my body, this warm feeling.
Oh man. So listen, Dunne, obviously thankful that you're okay. Very scary situation.
A lot of people said it was the karma coming back around for me hitting the car with the tote bag.
Oh my God.
There was a lot of comments about that this week.
Oh, I appreciate the jokes. I don't know. for the most part, I wasn't annoyed, because I'm the one who put it out there on Instagram.
Yeah.
And people don't know how to react or what to say, so I don't really fault most people for.
And I think maybe, and I don't know, you take your situation, but the fact you had told us all that you're like, hey, like pretty much for the most part, besides like the scar, like everything's okay. So maybe you took it in a different way, because I think if you were actually like, if you had like broken your leg or broken your arm or like something, the jokes probably would have like, you probably would have been pissed off and frustrated at like... Yeah,
I would have felt a little different. I don't know. Even the thing of like... And again, I don't fault anybody for any way they phrase it, but when they're like, glad we didn't lose you, I'm like, you know what? I don't really want to think right now about me almost dying.
But, it was serious, man. It was serious. And the pictures definitely don't downplay it. It's scary.
Yeah. It's like a weird like gravity of the situation that didn't even like strike me until we like had like this whole conversation, because you're like, oh, I got into a car accident, but everything's fine. Like, don't worry.
I'm trying to lead with I'm okay when I talk to my dad, when I talk to my mom, when I talk to my girlfriend.
Because you don't realize like how like much these like situations can take like a turn for the worse, where it's like you could be riding a bike and you could have fallen off your bike, but you could have got hit by a car riding your bike, and that situation can turn like completely differently,
Yeah, so they did all the scans. They said it was fine. Super sore. As the people watching this can see, I have a giant gash on my forehead, which I should have a scar. I hope it looks cool. I have all these like lacerations. It probably, a lot of this is like dried blood, but I'm kind of scared to wash it too much, because they were like, don't get hot water. I know this is very graphic. Joe's kind of wincing as it's like the hot water can fester bacteria or something like that. So I can't even feel like I could take a nice shower right now, because I don't want to like irritate anything too much. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But should be able to get the stitches out in the next couple of days and work through it from there.
And working through it right now. I didn't think we were gonna have, like I said, I didn't think we were gonna record this week, but powering through it and glad that you're okay for the most part. A lighter note.
Everything is a lighter note.
Said, like we said, you guys are in studio. I'm actually in Florida. I'm in Miami right now.
Speaking of, do you know why that's ironic, Joe?
No, I want to hear.
It's because you look like you're on the set of The Decision.
Like you've taken the talents to South Beach.
Taking my talent, literally taking my talents to South Beach. One thing I will tell you guys, this is, and I didn't even text you. I didn't even text you about this.
Yeah.
I was in Delray this past weekend before I came to Miami.
It's a beach.
Is that where you have some family down there?
Delray Beach. I have some family like in West Palm and Delray. Let me tell you though, they should rename Delray Beach to the on footwear capital of the world.
I'm sure.
I would, guys,
in the airport.
I would literally,
there's a lot of on out there.
I would say though, like 1 in 5. Seriously, 1 in 5 on. If they do studies about where on footwear is popping, you're just every place that I was at. You look to your left, you look to your right. Everyone's wearing on footwear. It's crazy.
Joe, if you ever get like an on sponsored post or like something limited, like Ronnie does like an on collab at some point.
I could see Ronnie doing it with the Roger Federer connection, the Swiss thing.
He does like a salmon toe on, but would the IG caption be I'm on one?
You know who does have an on sponsorship? Dunne.
Our friend J.K. Cho, right?
Yes, J.K. has on sponsorship.
I feel like every piece of content he puts out there is on related.
Definitely.
By the way, Joe, but we talked briefly about my shoes. Yes. We can't see your shoes. What are you wearing today?
Travel shoes, guys. I'm going to show you.
Okay. Air Max
CDG
95s.
Air Max 95. We don't have, we don't have Babs and crew shooting the on foot. So, it's a travel day. It's been, I don't want to say a rough day because Dunne, I'm not, you've had a rough few days.
I love this. I used to think of like, Joe couldn't make it. Joe, I fucking got in a car wreck and I made it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
What's up with you?
Been like a rough month.
It's been a rough day in terms of like scheduling and things like that, but pales in comparison to real life situations.
Thank you.
Yeah. But listen, we're here, we're remote. I'm in this, I wish there was like a 360 view. It's like half cafeteria, half studio, half
Dave Matthews is in there with you somewhere.
Where you got a chocolate milk? You got a chocolate milk box somewhere for you over there in the
It's
bag?
a very interesting setup.
Joe, in your Yukon days, Yukon cafeteria, what was like the go-to?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yukon cafeteria days, the best day was General Tso Chicken Day.
I love that. I remember honey stung chicken at the Oregon cafeteria.
The best day, Chef Ed in Towers. Chef Ed in Towers Dining Hall. General Tso Chicken Day was like it was the standout. And then, I could go on. But like South Dining Hall was the big dining hall.
You should go on. This is what people want to hear.
Might have saw like Karan Butler there a few times. The basketball players, but omelets in the morning. If you had an 8 a.m. class, omelets.
That's the thing. That was the same at Oregon. You would go to the Barnhart dorms where all the athletes lived, and you would get brunch there on Sundays because they would go crazy with the omelets and everything. Same exact setup.
And you would just add ingredients, and no one would look at you sideways because you know me. I'm putting pepperoni. I'm taking sausage from the pasta bar. I'm putting it in the omelet, and no one would look at. Here's the other thing. I don't know if you guys did this.
In the pot. No.
Listen, no one said
remix.
No one said. I was going to the pizza station, the pasta 8 a.m. in the morning. But one thing, I don't know if you guys did this in your.
We got the sausages
Shouts
over
to Cooch.
here. Got your sister in the corner.
Shouts to Cooch. 7 days removed from that epic dinner with Premium Pete. One thing I would say though, I don't know if you guys did this. I don't even know if you guys drank soda, but the go-to was there was a soda machine obviously in the dining hall. Instead of refilling, we just would have two big glasses of soda. Everyone did, but I just
get 5 cups of drinks.
Chocolate milk.
Yes.
Yeah. Chocolate milk. Heavy on the chocolate milk.
Yeah. Well, those were the days. Happy belated to Karan Butler, by the way. Okay. Yukon, my favorite Yukon player.
That's important.
Happy belated.
Welty, what sneakers do you have on feet? I can't quite.
Wearing
the instructed here.
Soulbox, Adidas, TRDC, torsion. From our friend Alyasha.
I love those. I feel like I have a couple. There's a blue fade pair of those that I have too. I want to bring those out.
You see, Joe made the DC reference, right?
All class. Diet Coke, all class.
I said earlier, but I have the exact. Again, we're gonna keep talking about it, but I have the exact black and royal Jordan ones that I wore during the car
Game
crash.
worn.
Game worn. I actually regret a little bit because some people when they were commenting, they were like, no blood on the Jordans though. There was definitely blood on the Jordans, but I cleaned them up pretty quick, and I kind of regret it because I feel like that would have been a sick little brand deal with Crep Protect or something, like a nice little overproduced video of me cleaning the blood off my Jordan 1.
Oh my god!
Wow.
It's surprising though, speaking from experience, how you'd think blood is the end all be all to a shoe,
right?
But when I had blood on my shoes, it was I was surprised at how quickly it just came off.
Yeah.
And you would think that, a wine stain's not coming out of a shoe.
Yeah, or out of a couch. Shout out to Fat Joe.
Yeah. But surprisingly, somehow blood stains come out of shoes. I don't know how that works.
Relatively easily. And they gave me some sick hospital issued socks in there, some no slippy joints.
Listen. One day when there's a sneaker Hall of Fame, they're gonna put that Nexus T-shirt. No, when you retire, not
either one.
When you retire, we're gonna put that Nexus T-shirt in the rafters.
I have the shirt. I was gonna wear the Nexus T-shirt that they discharged me with today, but I got probably a good idea to wash it first. By the way, I'm a little bummed too because I'm interested, and I kind of feel like the scar might look cool in the end, but my face has gotten worse since then, and I told Welty this morning, but it's puffed up quite a bit. So the puffiness is not a permanent thing, but it's here.
Things could be worse, right?
What's up?
I said, things could always be worse. So.
Yes, absolutely. And we're getting the blood out.
Listen, on a lighter note.
I'm sorry.
Maybe we should give
things away.
We got a lot to talk about.
Let's give away some sneakers, okay?
All right.
Yep.
eBay sneaker giveaway of the week. I hope people know how this works by now. If they don't know, they can go to ebay.complex.com. They can submit a question for us to answer here on the air. If we pick their question, if we like their question, we will answer, and we will send them a free pair of Grail sneakers, courtesy of eBay and their sneaker authenticity guarantee program. We got a special one today. Mm-hmm. A pair of SB Dunks.
Mm-hmm.
Silver box era.
Silver box.
Should we pull the shoes out first, or should we get to the question first?
Let's get to the question.
Okay. The question.
Because we could preface this before you pull the sneakers out.
Okay, and then we'll get back to my car crash, most important thing. Where is the question here? I have it in my email somewhere. Oh, here we go. It's from our guy, Jonathan Faria from Queens, New York. Another one that we might have to hand deliver. Yeah.
Hand deliver.
Asking, what is our favorite Nike SB box era? An appropriate question, obviously, because we have a classic Nike SB. Can we call the Jedi Dunks a classic?
Yes.
Okay.
If they're ever, I'm
Absolutely.
not saying that that's the most classic
Right.
of all time, but
It's up there.
Yeah.
So we have to give away here Jedi Nike SB Dunk Low for Jonathan and Queens. I actually had no idea there was patent leather on the back of these. I don't think I've ever
is there?
looked at
on the heel
sneaker,
tab.
Yeah, too closely, but Jedi SB Dunk, great one. Interesting thing about this, doesn't have the SB on the tongue, just Nike on there.
Interesting. So
Jonathan
wait,
is getting these.
did all the silver box era shoes didn't have the SB on the tongue?
You know, I don't know. I know there's a
question.
handful from around then that didn't have SB on the tongue, but these are going to Jonathan.
I'm sure our guy Abdul will fact check that. Abdul co-signed my New Balance $5 in each direction.
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
saw that.
You know
Okay.
what?
Texted
I
us.
didn't. When you were saying that, it was one of those things where when you were just explaining it to me, I kind of didn't get the gist of what you were saying, and then I think Abdul left us the text or whatever that when it was written out, I was like, oh, I didn't know that, but I'm like, it makes sense what you were saying. I didn't get like the math of it.
If Abdul says it's right.
Yeah, you know what didn't get the gist is code for? Wasn't paying attention.
No, I just you ever get me one of those people where you're like more of like a visual learner. You
Yeah,
actually have
totally.
to see it like laid out in front of you instead of like someone trying to
Definitely.
explain the numbers. Like
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
One thing I want to say about the Jedis, though, like
Yeah.
the Jedis are like a case for shoelaces really making a difference
Yes.
in the shoe. Like
Yes.
that, like out of everything, sometimes, a lot of times I feel like we're like, oh, shoelaces, an extra pair of shoes. Those
No big deal,
neon
right.
shoelaces set the shoe off
Yeah.
so good.
Also, one thing about this shoe that I will say is that because nowadays we live in the era of like all the like nerdy pop culture inspired shoes, you know, this is one of the shoes that like you don't kind of feel like a Star Wars super stan wearing it.
Right.
You know,
It's a little more subtle.
yeah, it's not like, oh my God, this is a DC Comics shoe. Not that Star Wars is, but like the all inspired by licensed collections. You don't have to be Star Wars at all. Same with another silver box era shoe, Homer Dunks. You don't feel like you're wearing a Simpsons shoe.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Adidas Simpson collection's very clearly like referenced.
Yeah. Also, one of the rare times that contrast stitching really looks good on a pair of sneakers or on anything.
Also, we have to give a quick shout out
Yes.
to friend of the pod.
Yes.
Friend of all of ours.
Hawaii's own.
Hawaii's own, Sarah Honda.
This is a big. Sarah Honda is
Yes.
a legend in general
Yes.
at Complex in the hip hop industry.
just legend in yeah.
Yes.
And this is a
Legend.
big Sarah
Flexing.
Honda sneaker. So
Yes.
as far as I'm concerned, this is a signature shoe of hers. But we're giving them away to Jonathan today. So should we get to his question?
Yes.
Our
Yes.
favorite era in Nike SB, and those people who don't know a lot about Nike SB, the context around this is you can separate the different eras in the line by the color of the box. So this is a silver box. A lot of people like pink box, gold box. There was the tape box that was around
Well, it
for a while.
goes. There was the original like Pro B era
Yeah.
boxes that just came in the Nike boxes.
Right.
Then there was the silver era,
Right.
which is like 2003, 2004.
yeah.
2005 is the pink box era, which I think a
Yes.
lot of people like lay claim to. Maybe I don't know if that's the best era per se,
Yeah.
but like
04 to 05.
like 05 was like that's like Tiffany dunks.
Yeah.
That's
And well, I was gonna say, are we gonna all have the same answer for this? Do you think?
don't think
'Cause
so.
You know,
I mean,
where,
my
you know where
answer-
I'm going.
and then there's black box after pink box, and a lot of people say that SB kind of like went away a little bit, like after like the black box was like the last of that like initial run.
And the teal box, a while after that was around for like a long time. I feel like there was that first era that they were kind of chunking it out
Yep.
maybe year by year, like year and a half almost. But then later on, some of those stuck around for a long time. Joe, you were about to say, is pink box your favorite?
Pink Box is my favorite. Just
Okay.
Tiffany Dunk, probably one of my favorite. Diamond Dunk, Tiffany Dunk, one of my favorite sneakers.
We're not going to
of
get
all
sued.
time.
You can call it Tiffany.
Yeah, the Stussy Dunk
Yes.
right there in right close behind. And then listen, the De La Highs. I just remember 2005. 2005 was definitely spend the whole paycheck of no matter what you're doing on Nike Dunk SBs for me, calling Special Sauce and trying to get them.
Back in Long
Didn't
Island.
get the Tiffany's.
It's
we all
tough
know.
though,
got
'cause
the fake pair. But
you know, you have Silver Box, you have Jedi's, Silver Box, Homer Dunks, Silver Box, Heineken Dunks, Silver Box. I feel like there's like a difference too, though, because Pink Box is very clearly like the most hyped Nike SBs of all time, but Silver Box, I feel like there's a lot of hype shoes within that era, and there's a lot that are going for a lot of money. But I feel like those are more of, you have to do your research a little bit more to know these shoes. Like, they aren't the most obvious, like, to like, I guess people who have been into shoes for a while, maybe those shoes stick out. And I think most of them are all really good. But I think Pink Box is the easy answer to say.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was saying. That's why I was like, are we all gonna have the same?
You're not Team Pink Box?
I think.
Come on, Welty, go, swerve.
Take the obvious choice one time in your life.
Yeah, swerve.
Oh man.
The swerve for him is though like going with the accepted popular thing.
The swerve,
That's
or just
true.
like being
That's
like,
true.
no, it's the original Pro B boxes. Which, even though Joe, you did wear the Pro Bs on sneaker shopping.
Yes, I did.
Welty, I want to know. You got to commit to something.
Man.
Or while you're thinking, I will say for me, Pink Box. I definitely owned a lot of gold boxes, and that's kind of like when I first got into it. But I would never like say that's the peak of Nike SB's output. And to me, the Pink Box stuff was always stuff I really wanted.
That's
and
fair.
At this point, I own. I have, and even some of the like less hyped stuff in there. I think Boca Jr. was a Pink Box.
Great shoe.
J-Pack Dunks, Pink Box. I love those. I still have those dead stock. And then the top tier stuff from that was really good too. Tiffany Dunks and Stussy Dunks. So to me, Pink Box.
Futura Lows are Silver Box.
Very good one. Another shoe we gave away on the show.
And also another shoe that may count as no, it's not a white shoe, but I feel like a JLP co-signed shoe.
Metacom?
No, in the Silver Box.
Okay.
Sea Crystal Highs.
Ooh.
Yes, I have those.
Ooh.
I have those.
Everyone said that shoe got like super dirty.
Yeah. I know. I've wanted to go back and buy those, but as such a suede shoe, I'm like, I feel like going back and acquiring grails, I just defer to the leather stuff usually because they're easier to clean off in case you get blood on them or something.
What were the Sen Helps?
Sen Help.
What
That
were the
was
Sen
a
Helps?
little later, right?
I want to say Sen Helps were may have been Black Box.
Everyone's gonna hop in the comments like they don't know right off the top of their head.
There was a lot to. I wore those Sen Helps. Talk
Help
about a
was
toe
good.
box that has been crumbled. I wore those Sen Helps a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, Sen Help was
Welty,
Black Box. Welty, yeah, we need your answer. This is so funny. Every time I look
I'm on
over
the
you-
fence. I'm on the fence of silver. I'm on the fence of silver.
Listen, we've been through. You guys have been through worse in the past couple of weeks. You can give an
Yes.
answer, okay?
Sorry, my memory's off.
No, it's all good. Like I was gonna say though, every time I look over you, I can see the lump in my eye, like how puffy it is under my eye, and I can see like my peripheral vision is just clouded by this big like lump.
One of my this is gonna sound. I guess I can joke about it now because everything's okay.
Yeah.
But one of my biggest fears that crossed my mind after like hitting my head, right, was that like in the first like week or so after when like those things happen, it's like you have trouble with like memory because.
Like you thought you were gonna lose all your sneaker memory,
or like everyone's like, oh, you have such a renowned like great memory,
Yeah.
but like it was tough to like kind of like really think and remember things because my head hurt, and I'm like, but what happens if my memory doesn't come back and I can't like pick things out of my ass and like
sneaker release dates.
Yeah, it's like, well,
You remember a 2014 meeting with me in leather pants and something that may
Yeah,
or
I
may
can't-
not
I
have
can't-
happened.
Joe, I can't.
If that information is lost on history, what will we do?
Yeah, it's like what
Exactly.
But man, you know what? I kind of want to say Silver Box just because I love Heineken Dunks so much. But I have to admit that like when I got into shoes, the Pink Box stuff was the most covetable. So I'm just gonna say Pink Box.
Okay. Well, we're giving away these Silver Box ones. Jonathan in Queens, you are getting this pair of Jedi Dunks thanks to eBay. A nice question. And
great question, though, too.
A fun little discussion. And shout out to Sarah Honda and yes. everybody in Hawaii. I don't want to, like, I had good times in Hawaii before I got in a car wreck, you know? A Truest Hawaii.
Can you talk about Truest? Yeah,
dude,
talk about Truest. Talk
I
about
love
Truest.
That store.
So give me a sense of Truest, because obviously we see the Instagram account, but Dunne, really talk about what separates it from everything else. It looks like such an amazing store.
And I would love to talk to you guys about this a bit, because, like, to me, we're so jaded and physical retail, it's hard to be excited by it sometimes in 2022.
Yeah. So
let me get this sneaker box out of here. But, like, when people come to New York and they ask me, like, what sneaker store should I go to?
I never get, as much as, like, I think it's exciting for people to go to Flight Club and Stadium Goods for the.
You got to tell them to go to those places. Those are tourist attractions.
You walk into those places for the first time, and it's like, what is going on here? Even celebrities on the show, you know?
Yeah.
But when you go to places like that, when you've been there for a while, you kind of already, like, know what's, like, going to be in there. So it's like you've already seen, like, it's like going to, like, the Statue of Liberty. It's like, if it's probably awesome to go there, but once you've already been there, it's like, how many times are you gonna?
Right, and you're not necessarily gonna buy a lot of
you're not like
Joe La Puma.
You're not like, with all due respect to both places, it's like, maybe you're not, like, in the mood to just drop, like, $700 on a shoe.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. But sorry, this is a long way to get to Truest in Hawaii, which I think is one of the coolest sneaker stores in the world. But whenever people ask me when they're coming to New York, where should I go for shoes, I tell them, Stadium Goods, Flight Club, awesome to visit. Kith, if you want to buy stuff. Extra Butter, if you actually want to buy stuff. And then, to me, we've talked about it, I think, on here a bit and on Full Size Run, but places like Spicy Action, where somewhere where you go and it actually feels like a unique sneaker shopping experience, something so special you can't get elsewhere.
It's so tough because in today's day and age, you don't get really a lot of excitement in, like, going to sneaker boutiques anymore. Because
I used to have that feeling about 21 Mercer downtown.
I remember back in the day, like 06, 07, like going to Bodega and being like, oh shit, am I going to find like what am I going to buy?
Yeah.
Are there going to be a pair of Air 180s there? Are there going to be a pair of Footscapes? They're going to be like pair of Alpha Forces, like something that I don't own that I'm going to be excited to buy for the first time.
Yeah.
I feel like all the shoes that you want, you're just like, oh, I could buy them online. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. So, and to me, like, a place like Truest is cool because, and shout out to John, this is a sneaker store in Honolulu, and they post the craziest stuff on their Instagram, and then you go in there in real life, and it is exactly that. The samples that they have.
They have a bunch of Wu-Tang Dunks and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like,
is there like SB Dunk walls and like tons of Tiffany's, or because
it's
the Instagram,
small store. It's a small store, but he has such a variety, and he has a case up at the counter with all this sample stuff and stuff that you've never released and stuff that you've legitimately never seen. I mean, we were just talking about classic SBs like Sea Crystals and Tiffany Dunks. He has those in baby sizes, like that they never made. Or you remember in Just for Kicks when Stash pulls out the blue hemp dunks?
Sandy Bodecker, you killed it.
Exactly. And he has the blue hemp dunks for his kid in every size. At Truest in Hawaii, they have a pair of kid size, maybe baby size blue hemp dunks, SB dunks. Like those things.
Do you think they were actually worth stashes?
I have no idea, and he has like 85 Jordan 1s, a ton of them in really good condition. So I was so hyped to go to a store like that. And I don't know, do you guys have stores like that around the world that you feel like truly stick out in terms of special sneaker stores?
I mean, I think I've mentioned it on here. I don't know why I'm blanking on the name of the store, but it was that store that our friend Richie Rojas had taken me to in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Oh, I know the name. Can we say the name? Because some of these stores are like digging type stores where people are like, I don't want to say the name publicly.
I don't think like the store's there anymore.
Joseph's is the name
Joseph's
of the store, right?
in Philadelphia, where like you'd go in there and they'd have all this like vintage stuff, and it wasn't like meant to be like pretty or shrink wrap. They just had like all these.
It was an old school mom and pop shop that's just sitting on dead stock, literal dead stock.
Yeah, I remember sending Joe all these pictures of Air Maxes, and he's like, "Do you have them in in my size?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll ask him." And the guy's like, "Well, I can't find it," you know. And it's like it's one of those things where there's all these vintage shoes on the wall, and everyone, like the one guy working there, everyone jokes they call him Korean Elvis. He has like this huge like slick back, like you know, like pompadour like haircut, and he's just like such a character that like that makes, you know,
the
like
experience.
And then you kind of have to like haggle with that guy to even like get him to get the shoes for you. And some people are like, if he likes you or not, maybe he'll get you the shoes. If he doesn't, he's
just
not
like Spicy Action.
He's not even gonna look for you.
Old school,
He's not even gonna look for you. But yeah, like going to something like that.
Yeah. Are there places like that for you, Joe?
I would say Tokyo, and not knowing the names, but digging through all old, not even sneakers, but like all old Supreme stuff and like old Bape and things like that. But also, I have to say, not a store per se, but where I did get that feeling a little bit? Where? Project Blitz. Honestly, at Project Blitz, I don't know if I've said it before, but like I get there and like I'm in the first
Blitz
room.
Blitz is not
a
store; it's a secret warehouse, right?
Exactly, which is a little different. I realize that, but like
no. I just wanted to make sure I understand because I've never been.
It's like kind of like an invite only store, right?
Right. Well, is Spicy Action invite only or no?
No, you can go in. Although I don't know if Spicy Action is still open. Every time I drive by now, the gates are down. But talk about Project Blitz some more.
So Project Blitz, it was like, I went into this first big room and like, it was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this is cool. And like, yeah, Yeezy Buster was there and Dre was there. And then like I spent like a half hour in the first room and I was like, this is cool. Like, and then you have the Shrine, obviously, where like, we just had Hayes on the podcast that week or so. And I was like, do you have Hayes dunks? And you see that. But then there's the room, like the big room. Yeah. It is a warehouse. And it was just like, wow, you come out of there. And I'm sure you feel this about Truest a little bit. You come out of there, even if you don't buy anything, which I didn't, you come out of there a little inspired, like that you're doing what we do, honestly.
Yeah. It's the stuff that gets you excited. Again, I say this, and I feel like some people can relate to us in this, but you get so jaded by seeing every limited shoe, or you kind of know the story around every shoe. But then when you get to go to a place where you're like, oh, I'm actually seeing this thing that's another tier of exclusive or different, and I'm seeing it in person and getting to really feel the history for it, like, it's so cool.
One of the things I really miss, and I feel like this isn't around at all anymore, is when you used to go into sneaker stores and the price tag was a hang tag that was handwritten.
Okay. Like on a highlighter orange type of tag.
Yeah, or like
Sharpie.
Like a paper, or like the, what's it called? Something tag, like the I can't think of the word, but it's like the kind of like yellowish, like manila folder-y sort of thing.
Totally.
Yeah, with like the red square around it with the lines. It'd be like $74.99 handwritten.
Yeah.
But
you want that feeling back.
But the best part about it was when they'd actually have the sizes listed in sequential order underneath it. It would be like 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5. And when the size got sold, they'd like cross it out on the thing, or it'd be like 8.5 and 12 only on the hang tag. Yeah. Oh man, like that really brings me back. Yeah. Even the smell of it, man.
Tangentially related to that, Welty, do you remember markdown days at Foot Locker?
Oh my God,
the worst days.
I think we've talked about this before, but
days.
I, as an outsider, a person who never worked at sneaker retail, tell me about markdown days.
Oh my God, it was so
markdown
annoying.
days. It was the worst days, but it was so important. So you walk in at 10 a.m. and it's like you literally get not a sheet of paper, you get like a pamphlet.
Booklet. Yeah.
A booklet. And it's all the shoes that have gotten marked down on the wall.
Because they've been sitting around for too long.
Yeah, or like even some cool shoes that like just kind of like, even if they were marked down, $125 to $99 or something like that. And it was a pamphlet, a booklet, like Welty said. And it was like, you had to
physically do.
No, it's so
you have
annoying.
to retag everything. And then if you were lazy, and you didn't do it, it was so bad because no customers would just walk past the shoes thinking that they were regular price.
Not knowing they were on sale.
Yeah.
Your manager would be like, yo, what are you doing? This shoe is like $50 cheaper. Yeah. Exactly. And you walk in on a Tuesday or Wednesday morning, you're like, I don't want to do this, but it was so important because the foot traffic just is like, oh, none of these shoes are on sale. Yeah. It was the worst days in retail, markdown days.
But it was super annoying though, because like there would always be like Joe said, it was like a pamphlet. It was like 8 pages of like SKUs. Yeah.
In the color code though, codes.
But it was the color codes, and it wasn't this pair, it was only this colorway.
Yes. Yes.
But the problem was too, is that it would have everything on there for whatever reason that was like from 9 years ago, that there was like one pair left in your inventory that never got cleared. But it wasn't.
And is it on the shelf? Or
no, it's not there. Like it doesn't exist.
You're searching for it. it was probably
you don't. No, you don't. But
Yeah.
you're left with a book full of all these old SKUs that are technically still in the books of this store having it, and for some reason it's like $19.99, but you obviously don't have that one shoe.
Yeah.
And if you do,
no one's gonna buy it.
It's out back, and you're not gonna like put it on the wall or whatever because you only have so much like space where you have to take off a shoe that you have 40 pairs of. You know what I mean? Like you're not gonna make room for a $20 shoe to just whatever. But you had to like search, you had to dig through all the garbage on there to even find the SKUs that you actually have to mark down. And then sometimes
it's a physical thing of crossing out the price and putting a new price.
No, you'd have to get the red tags, like the red Foot Locker tag sale, $69.99,
and write a new one.
And you'd have to get like you have to get
price gun or something.
The plastic gun, the price gun, yes.
Yeah.
Which, you can still hear the sound.
And then you had the
after hours you could shoot it. When they malfunctioned, you could do it so like the tag shot obviously like after
like
hours.
a
you're
projectile.
Running around. Yeah, exactly.
No.
Finish line. You could. Yes,
my God,
it does.
dude,
Like
that
just
whole
little
we just
plastic.
unlocked
It
the
doesn't
traumatic.
hurt or anything.
We're talking about traumatic.
Or you'd run out of
bad.
Joe. It'd be like an odd price where like Timberland boots would go on sale for like $129.99, and you like didn't have enough like $129.99 tags, and you had to like go there with a marker and like write over the $124.99.
Yes. But the flip side was it was very big. Managers were like, you have to do markdowns. Now, if the color code, you put the markdown on a color code that wasn't marked down, and the customer was like, listen, it says $79.99, and you're like, no, they're regular price, and they were like, well, the tag says $79.99.
Wait, you just put the wrong tag on it?
No, because sometimes the color codes on the pamphlet, you had to like keep track of the color codes, and if you like made a mistake, you would mark down sneakers or boots that weren't actually marked down.
Okay,
so you know what I mean? Like, but the off color was and not the regular.
But sometimes too, and this is like maybe being lazy, but like you'd have like white and black shocks, right? And you'd have white, black, and red shocks. But like on the thing, it would like kind of say white, black, red, or like white, black, but it sometimes wouldn't read out the whole colorway of it. So you didn't want to actually have to go into the computer and like look everything up. So you're just like, oh, it's the white and black shocks. But it's only the white, black, and red shocks.
Yes.
So you mark down the white and black ones,
and then
regular price.
People expect a discount.
And then you're like,
and we gave it to them. We had to. You had to give it to them.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. That's a good segue though, because coming off of this weekend.
White, black, and red?
No, I would just say retail in general coming off of this weekend seemed like a big retail weekend with those Jordan 1s.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. That's why I said white, black, and red, right?
Yes.
White, gray, black, and red.
Mostly black and gray. Mostly black and gray, but okay.
I didn't know where you were going, but yeah.
Rebellionaire.
This was a huge shoe. It felt like, I think this was technically, and our friend Zach DeBasic mentioned this to us, the first neighborhood exclusive Jordan retro release,
which used to be not 1-to-1 but tier 0.
Yeah, that type of thing, like Nike's boutique partners who have access to their best product. And so it seemed like the type of thing where Jordan was approaching these stores being like, look, we're going to give you these exclusive sneakers. We want you to do as much as you can to tell the story around them, and stores don't get these opportunities a lot where it's like, okay, this is their chance to show the brand. And you hear a lot lately about Nike cutting out retail partners and things like that. I don't think a lot of neighborhood boutique stores are in danger of getting cutting out, but when you hear about that, you realize the extent to which these stores have to prove themselves to a Nike or a Jordan.
That's what it felt like. It was like,
yeah.
And this is a joke that we had made before, but it was like Nike gave them it was like a test. Nike gave them what they knew was a kind of like bad shoe.
You don't like the shoe. I don't like the shoe either.
And you don't like the shoe, Joe, right?
Welty, you not the band. The 2Xs are tough for me.
Just be honest though, Joe. You don't like the shoe.
I wouldn't wear the shoe.
Okay.
No, it's not for me. I'm being diplomatic. You guys, this guy has a tweet. This guy has a tweet. The worst sneaker of the year so far.
I mean, I wouldn't say that much, but like, and I think it's important to be critical, not just cynical about. But I don't like the shoe either.
Right.
I don't think anybody was.
I think the writing
that.
overlay just makes it look cheap.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it. They released the Air Jordan 1. Obviously, the Air Jordan 1, like Nike's most like coveted silhouette, or at least one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
They try to tie it to the band story, which Nike kind of based their whole thing around. I think there's the writing on the shoe that says they don't want you to wear them, or something close enough to that. Which
that
was
tough for me
from the original thing.
I have the black and red band
yeah,
ones.
You don't
black
need,
and red,
and we do the band thing
so
often.
But you don't need like the pair. Like they try to create like a premium product. but in the way that the shoe was designed, it didn't make it look premium. It made it look kind of cheap.
Unless it was like a Dornbecker thing. I don't know if it was you or somebody else.
Someone had said that. Oh, no, you can go watch it. This episode of Full Size Run.
Okay.
We talked about it with Stilo Brim.
He said
yes.
It looked like it could have been a Dornbecker release, and it maybe would.
But he also said it wasn't a good shoe himself.
Did Trinidad like them?
No, I don't think any of us.
No, it might have been a universal skip situation. And again, no offense to the designers who made them, but I feel like it's always a compliment if we're talking about the work, or we want to have a space to be critical about the work. But yeah, one of the interesting things was every store, and again, no offense to any of the stores, because if you're a store and you get this limited Jordan 1 release, like why wouldn't you go all out and do this cool storytelling stuff? So I like that. I just don't
people
like the product.
thought the shoe was more limited than it actually was. That's a lot of what the gist of that I got.
Interesting.
Out of it.
Because it was so hyped up in a way.
It was so hyped up, but the stores,
right?
But the stores made it seem like such a big deal that some people maybe thought they only could get it from that store.
Yeah, but you really think this is the worst sneaker of the year so
Number
far?
one, it was kind of a joke.
Yeah,
but I just don't think it's a great shoe,
or even a good shoe.
No, I don't think it's a good shoe. And I think if you put it on the level of like how much people were like talking about it versus how good or bad the shoe actually is, I don't think it's a great shoe.
I appreciate that the stores, regardless if you like the shoe or not, the stores did a good job. We saw there was like a BMW, I think, here in Miami at Unknown. Shouts to our guy Matt from Corporate. Seems like they did a great build out. Yeah, seems like they did a great build out for that. So even if we didn't like the shoe, it did give stores kind of a chance to like see what they could do.
Yeah,
and that was great.
I like it when those stores get those opportunities because, like, man, I mean, we've had so many sneaker store owners on here and people who run shops, and even when you have the limited account, like, it's not easy. The margins aren't great, so you don't get a lot of cool looks from a brand necessarily.
Or it's a bigger hassle to even drop that shoe than it is like.
So to get the opportunity to kind of celebrate it in a way, like, I salute them.
I do think though, so I tweet the thing kind of like not half jokingly, but just
the
kind of
Drake
like,
shoe's worse, right?
What?
The Drake shoe is worse.
I think the Drake shoe is worse. I do think the Drake shoe gets a little more credit just for being an original silhouette.
Yeah.
Not that I think the shoe is good, but I think they're two different leagues. They're two different leagues of shoes.
Wait, Joe is not about to go on record defending an all-white sneaker.
No, I'm saying the black one though reminds me so much of the Air Max 95, the Supreme all leather one, which we saw Drake leak that a couple of years ago. He was the first one to. That black one, and I actually saw it today in person, but that black one looks so much like that. So maybe there was some design DNA.
We were like, we're talking about it because it's funny that like I tweet it, and then I know Brendan has talked about this in the past. The annoying thing is that so I tweet it, and it's just one thing, it gets some traction on Twitter, but then all of the sneaker Instagram accounts were like screenshotting the tweet and posting it on Instagram. So then it like brings on a second life of its own of everyone like adding you in your mentions, like trying to argue with you about the Rebellionaire Air Jordan 1, which is not how you want to spend your weekend. So you're like
the stress, the perils of being popular, the stress of being popular. It's so tough.
The funny thing is, the funny part
I was busy getting hit by a fucking car, and you're complaining about people in your Twitter mentions. Really, buddy?
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
I mean, like you have never done before, Brendan. This guy's never complained about people in his Twitter mentions.
Okay. Go on.
But friend of the show, Frank Cook, I think it was ATATF, who had posted the tweet, and Frank goes in the mentions and goes, "If I had said what Matt said, then I'd be labeled as a hater."
Ooh,
but people certainly labeled you as a hater for saying that, right?
There were some people, but then a lot of people were like, if you know Matt or Welty, it's like, are you surprised that he said like?
Right, like this is so on.
Some people were saying that I was salty that I didn't get a pair. Like, everyone's like,
stop right there. If anybody thinks Matt Welty, and again, I don't want to shit on the shoe too much, but like, obviously Welty does not want that sneaker. Like,
I'm salty.
If you actually think that Matt Welty is mad he didn't get a pair of the Rebellionaire Jordan 1s, you don't know Matt Welty at all.
It's like if I got it,
that's just not true.
Like, you would have warned him if you knew they were reselling for $600. I'm like, in
no,
no
he wouldn't
situation would I worn that shoe.
I would have resold them.
No, he wouldn't have.
I don't want to be too harsh to also shoes that haven't come out yet, but just if we're talking about worst sneakers of the year, because it's a fun thing to think about. I really don't like the Union Cortez at all.
I love that shoe.
I like them.
I like them
I
a
don't
lot.
love it.
I don't know.
I love that shoe.
I want to, I'm the story guy or whatever, so I want to hear the full story and.
Well, we heard the
nice
story
images.
on Full Size Run.
We heard a little bit of it, but I'll still reserve judgment. But to me, that's Or like what is that? The Supreme
I
Zoom
love the
Flight
Cortez,
95. I don't know when those are coming out.
That's really bad.
The ones with the bandana paisley print on them.
I want to see what other colorways.
You don't need to see what other colorways.
No, there's already.
No, but I love that silhouette though.
But there's the blue one, the black one, and the tan one.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if those were just photoshops because it looked like the exact same photo. But yeah, also Supreme Burberry. I feel like I jinxed
really
myself.
good.
Did you guys try and buy that stuff at all, or is that
No.
only me?
No,
I didn't, but
impossible.
It's tough to look at that stuff and not, what I told you guys in Slack, like the pink box logo hoodie, really good, man.
Our guy Dennis Tedisco he had posted on his IG story. He had gotten an extra large in the trench coat and was trying to trade someone for a large. So if anyone's listening,
Tedisco, listen, our guy Dennis is every time I see a new ad campaign from him,
going crazy, right?
He's got the Lincoln. He's got the Lincoln.
Crazy because he works at IG and he's doing SpawnCon IG.
Killing
he
it.
must be boosting, the algorithm on the back end. I'm sure he's like pouring some of that Zuck juice on there. Sweet baby Ray's. Talk about Hawaii.
Killing
you know
it.
What I mean?
Another shoe that I think is interesting to talk about. Not a sneaker.
Then I'm tuning out. I don't care.
Okay. Dior Birkenstocks.
I didn't see those.
I saw those. That's what the tread is, the Dior thing. I'm still mad at anything Dior footwear because of when they threatened to sue me.
They're like the tan Birkenstock slip-ons, and they have the plastic toe cap on them with like the buckle on where they have like the seat.
Is that a Welty shoe?
I would wear it, but I wouldn't wear Dior. But I would and obviously I would never. Let me walk
Look at
that
you back in New Hampshire.
Let me walk it
sipping
back.
a high noon on the deck.
Let me walk it back.
Talk about it.
Let me walk it back. About it. I would never if I got that shoe, I would never wear it. Not that I don't.
17 seconds later.
Not that I don't think it's cool or good.
Okay.
But the idea of like $1,000 pair of like house slip-on shoes
just doesn't sit well with you in this economy.
No, it's just like in my head, I'm like, I don't do this.
Yeah.
I don't partake in that.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
You know what house slippers I missed that I was looking through? Did you guys see the Geiger house slippers?
No, I don't know about those.
I was looking at his Instagram. I don't know how I missed them, but those look fire.
I mean, I'm a Yeezy slide household, as is well documented on here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got them on deck. What other shoes are coming? Oh, Bodega Hoka.
Oh yeah.
I really like that. I wish they would have done a little bit more because I feel like it's mostly a color flip.
Yeah.
But I think those are coming. And Joe, do we have you on the Hoka wave yet?
I don't have a pair of Hokas yet. Those look cool. They do remind me a little bit of ACG colorway though, which I get. It's like a trail shoe, right?
Right, the browns and then the fluorescent pops.
Exactly. That's the first thing I thought when I saw those. Pretty cool, but no, I haven't got on the Hoka wave yet, even though you see it more and more.
I don't think I'm actually on the Hoka wave.
What? I thought you were on this wave with me.
No,
I'm still back in
Big
Hawaii
Donnie
riding
Quack
the waves. We didn't get to go boogie boarding. We were going to go boogie boarding, and then we got hit by a car.
Style.
We got hit by a car. All I wanted to do was fucking go boogie boarding and eat some malasadas. Go ahead, Welty.
No, it's just I didn't. It's one of those things where I liked Hoka to actually go running in.
Yeah.
I haven't.
And you have run in them?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think they're amazing running shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't crossed over the line of thinking that Hokas look cool to wear in lifestyle.
You don't have any Hokas of the lifestyle persuasion?
No, and I haven't worn them casually in the streets.
But the Bodega ones?
I think they look good.
Okay, you would do that.
Yeah, maybe he's supposed to be getting a pair. I don't know.
Okay,
he said that. He said that in the Slack. I should be. He always says I should be getting a pair.
Yeah, watch him not show up, and I just punted myself on that one.
Jinxed it. Some Air Max 1s coming out. Air Max Day is next week. I actually kind of like. There's a couple. I feel like they did a cool job with some of the storytelling. There's the Paris style one, the City of Light Air Max 1.
Those are nice.
Air Max 1 famously inspired by the Pompidou Center in Paris. Yes. So they have that pair. And then the Blueprint pair, I think, is a North America thing. And that's kind of cool because it's this architectural.
Isn't there like a Asia Pacific pair as well?
Yeah,
too?
The Kintsugi one, Wabi Sabi type of thing. Mm-hmm. I like all three of those. I mean, Air Max Day has gotten a little less interesting every subsequent year, but I like those Air Max 1s a lot.
Big JLP Air Max Day shoe.
Ooh.
The Atmos 95s.
Yes.
Which
the
Leopard
Beast Pack 2.0.
Okay. I thought you were talking because there's the Viotech Atmos Air Max 95 too, right?
No, that's Air Max 1.
Is there not a version of that on the Air Max 95? Am I just like maybe I did hit my head?
Yeah.
Am I making that up totally?
I think so.
I got to look it up.
The Viotech is the Air Max.
I know the Viotech Air Max 1. I love that shoe, and I voted for it in the vote back thing.
That's big.
Yep. I love that shoe.
That was a really popular shoe. I think I remember seeing that like in the office like a bunch
Beast.
too. Yeah. That was like one of those ones that took off. I mean, all those shoes, the Sean Weatherspoons.
I totally made up. No, look.
Which
Atmos
one?
Air Max 95, 2003.
Oh, yes. But that shoe never re-released.
No. Okay.
Okay. That's sorry.
No. I was just worried for a second.
Sean Weatherspoons, all the cement, the elephant, jade Air Max 1s.
Yeah, Atmos Air Max 1s. Those were that first vote back year. Like I said, that year I was hoping for the Viotech Air Max 1s to come back. I voted for the Viotech Air Max 1s. And the Air Max Grail thing is so tough because going back and acquiring those things is just
you can't wear them.
Not sustainable. Yeah, because you go back and buy a pair of Dunks from 20 years ago or even a pair of Jordan 1s from 35, 37 years ago, you can wear them. Did I do the math right? 37? Yeah, okay. But you buy a pair of Air Max 1s from 12, 15 years ago, it's like not a great investment.
Joe, how do you feel about the Concepts Air Max 1s?
So the thing about the Concepts Air Max 1s, I like them, but I'm not. How many colorways released, or is it just everyone is different? It was tough for me to follow a little bit.
It was a little tough for me to follow too. I think there's 3 colorways total.
There's 3.
Okay.
They dropped the first one that has like the velvet on them at Concepts, right?
Right.
Then the second one's coming out, and I think those ones are getting released at more stores.
I generally like the distressed look. I guess Air Max 1s, you guys don't see me in a lot of Air Max 1s. I don't wear them that often.
I don't think I've ever seen you in them, Joe.
Really?
Yeah, I don't wear those. I don't wear them that much.
I feel like Welty, there was a period when you wore Air Max 1s a lot. And I've owned a lot of Air Max 1s, but I never had a period where I stayed in them really regularly. Yeah. But I'm often like, damn, I want to bust the anniversary red and white pair back out or the blue and white or something.
I saw that, I guess the storylines that get told in this podcast, it's always fun that you can always kind of connect things back to them.
Yeah.
Is that they were doing an in-store release for the second one at Sneaker Politics. Our friend Derek Curry obviously has that whole story with Dion.
Yeah, close
how
connection.
Dion helped him open up the Nike account, so they're doing a big blowout of the Concepts Air Max
South by Southwest, I think.
Yeah, at his store down there. So it's cool to see that activation.
Very natural relationship and them come together like that. Yeah, I love that.
There was LeBron wearing. There's a third pair. I had seen, maybe it was messaged that was friends and family, but maybe it's not now. I don't know. I don't want to
you kept bringing that back, but do we know that for sure?
I don't. But someone who works at Concepts had posted it on their Instagram saying that was a friends and family pair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't know. It's like you don't know. So it's like I don't want to throw that out there.
Yeah, man. Who knows?
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
I keep feeling like this thing on my head is going to burst open. Sometimes I
think we need to.
Sometimes I
does that mean we got to go?
No, we can hang out for a little longer.
You're reminding me if I went down, I've gone down. You know how you can go down, obviously, YouTube rabbit holes of like you watch one video and then all of a sudden you watched 1,000 videos?
Yeah.
I admittedly went down the whole
no, this is going to be gross.
You talk about bursting open. I went down like the Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh my God.
No.
I want to throw up. Stop
where they,
right there.
They take like a lipoma out of like the head or whatever.
Come on.
Fuck, that's disgusting.
No.
Oh. You never watched those videos? No?
I would throw up. I would throw up. Every time I sneeze, I feel like my forehead is going to fly open.
Dude, you better take care of yourself. I know that you powered through this, but you better take care of yourself.
I'm getting the stitches out this week. We might need some plastic surgery or something, but I don't know. That's what they said in the ER. Also, I don't want to make it seem like I had such a terrible time in Hawaii because I got to do nice things. I got to do sneaker things. I even got to go to Kith, Hawaii. And Ronnie said he hasn't even been to Kith, Hawaii. So I got to go to Kith in Honolulu before Ronnie Feig ever went.
Nice.
Beautiful store.
Nice.
One of the nicest staircases I've ever seen in my life. Donut King in Kailua, I was heavy in there, enjoying the food. Yeah, I'm eating like trash every time I go on a vacation.
Interesting thing for our weekly PG mention. Another podcast tie it back.
We can't get out of here for the day without talking about
another
PGs.
podcast tie it back. He had posted on Instagram that he acquired Bob Beto's sample 101 Nike Air Force Ones.
Special shoe.
Right, I saw that.
And in the mid top that no one's ever seen before.
Did he post the mids?
Yes.
Okay, is that like one of the 5 mids that's allowed? Or PG? He likes
the mids. Yeah. He likes the Independence Day jewel.
Okay.
But he posted the low top.
You know what? He's got to come on here himself and explain.
He posted the low
mids
top,
that he likes,
the mid top, and Bobito Air Force One sample high top, the red pair that did release, but a sample.
So he's awfully fucking shy for a guy who has a weekly segment on this show.
Yeah, right. So will that be personal collection, or he's gonna sell, Welty?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to talk for him, but to him, I think
again, he can come on here and explain
when we
it
did
himself.
talk about it, he said
door's always open.
It's crazy. It's kind of like a museum piece for like sneaker collectors because it's like, I mean, I think we spoke about it on the podcast. You can go back and listen to the Bobito Garcia episode that we shot during the pandemic. You can't watch it. It's not on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just an audio version?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is on YouTube, so you can you can see us in all our glory this week.
Are there any other sneakers? Oh, you know what's Joe? What sneakers really, really growing on me? Not to piggyback too much off of last week's episode, the Jown 990 V3s.
Really?
Every time I see that shoe, it just keeps looking better and better and better.
Oh! I was thinking of the navy. I was thinking of the previous
the
Jown New
V4s.
Balance. Yeah,
I like that shoe, but the green pair,
those are nice.
That's such a nice shade of.
Oh, and Teddy just unveiled all those New Balances, right?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. That came out. Do you think that was inspired by our New Balance episode on the podcast? Did we set the tone? Did we?
People like that New Balance podcast a lot.
How do we get Teddy to come on the podcast? Joe, you have the relationship, right?
Not happening.
Right away.
Not happening.
Who's coming on first? Teddy Santis of I'm a Leon Dore or PG of the guy who sells sneakers on
PG.
That's how I know. That's
PGs.
how I know you like hit your head.
What?
You said Ame Leon Dore.
Is that wrong?
All right, we gotta go.
Dore?
We gotta go now.
Door, excuse me. Door.
Dore's pretty far off. He does have
I gotta put some bologna on my eye, man.
Just some frozen peas.
I had the peas out this morning. My brother was like, "There's some peas in the freezer." I was doing 30 seconds at a time. Bag of peas, not pea, but peas on my eye.
Pushing.
Yeah, go ahead, Joe.
You pushing pea?
Go ahead,
peas.
Yeah,
pushing peas.
There we go.
Speaking of pea, you had Pusha T on
Pusha T.
Yep.
Yes,
sneaker shopping.
Go check that out.
Great episode. Check that out.
Hopefully, we have an episode of the week coming, but it's looking a little shaky, guys. But we'll see. We'll see.
Hence why Joe isn't here, right?
Yes, that's why I'm not in studio with you guys.
You couldn't make it,
but couldn't make it. But hopefully we get one.
Too fucking busy.
No, never that.
I'm kidding.
Never that. All right, guys, listen. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Been a rough couple weeks.
Wear your seatbelt. Wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
Definitely. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe. No matter what, you'll see us here next week. I'll be back in studio. We'll all be together. This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. See you next week and have a great weekend.
See ya.